is Chris, and a lot of people have been asking me lately, Chris, why do you post the things you post online? Or why do you do the things that you do? Or why is it that you love inspiring people or motivating people? And my answer is simple. It's because I believe in potential. I believe, and I'm not talking about the type of potential where this person has the potential to be a great student, or this person has the potential to be a great hockey player. I'm talking about the type of potential that's wrapped up in people to do incredible things. I mean, human beings. The type of potential that allows us to create, explore, discover things, that adventurous side of us, just that potential that allows us to do incredible things. And I believe that people live their lives never accessing that. And we marvel at the people that actually do access that. The people that have actually changed the course of history. Different stuff like that. And I mean, I look at a seed, and you look at a seed doesn't look like much. Its physical makeup, a seed doesn't look like much, but the potential that it has, I can smash a seed with a hammer, but I can't smash a tree. The thing that's produced out of that potential that seed has, I can't smash that. That's thousands and thousands and thousands of times the strength and the size of a single seed. But look at the potential that it has, and I feel like people, humans, are the same way. I believe that physically we might not look like much, but there's something deep down in us. There's an incredible greatness deep down in us that we don't access. And so I'm all about pulling that out of people, allowing people to be aware that there's so much more to you than, let's say, your full-time job. There's so much more to you than the life that you're living right now. I used to have a dog. His name was Carlos, and when I tell you that the amount of experiments that I had with this dog, I did so many experiments with Carlos. It was crazy, but he was like my little guinea pig, and through those experiments, I found out and I learned a lot about him and animals, but I also learned fascinating things about myself as well and how we differ. And the thing about Carlos is that I found that a lot of people live like him. A lot of people live like their animals in the sense that they operate at the most basic function, at the most basic level. I often say that we're built like iPhones, but too many of us live like payphones. We operate at the most basic level. My mom bought an iPhone the other day, and all she does is make phone calls and text messages. Like, why? What's the point? Why have something with so many features to only use it at its most basic level? You might as well get a flip phone, right? You know what I mean? And so a lot of us, we have these hidden features wrapped up in human beings that we never access, or we take for granted, or we use at such a minimal level. Something as simple as imagination. I'm looking at Carlos, and I'm looking at him, and he can't imagine anything. What he experiences is what he knows. Me, as a human being now, I can imagine things. I have an imagination. I can be in the dead of winter. I can go on my balcony, and I can imagine myself in the Dominican Republic on a one of those chair things, whatever it's called, drinking something, drinking a daiquiri or whatever it is, margarita. I have the power to access my imagination. I have the power to imagine something that's external, create or think of something that's external, an external object outside of what I'm actually physically experiencing. My dog Carlos couldn't do that. But how many of us tap into our imagination? Something as simple as something like creating a vision. Do you know that we have the power to create our own future? We look at a lot of these things. If you were to look at a lot of these successful people, we would see that, these guys have there's commonalities amongst so many of them, but the problem is that we put them into a box and we say, well, I don't have the opportunities that they have, or I don't have the resources that they have, so I can't do what they can do. But if you really think about it, a lot of them, there's a commonalities amongst many of them, and one of the main commonalities is that a lot of them saw where they wanted to be before they were actually there. And it's not about being prophetic. It's not about being prophetic. It's about seeing or imagining where you want to be, and then you working towards that. You aligning your choices, your energy, your focus, your time, and resources towards that, what you see. And a lot of, Muhammad Ali saw that he was the greatest before he even was. Will Smith, same thing, saw he was a great Hollywood actor before he even was. Oprah, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, a lot of these guys saw their success prior to even reaching it. Carlos couldn't do that. But how many of us actually do that? How many of us have actually seen or actually see our future success? Not many of us, because a lot of us are living like animals. We operate at the most basic level. We wake up, we go to work, we come home, somewhere in there we eat, and then we go to sleep, and then guess what? The next day is the same thing. It's sad, because there's so much hidden features that we have access to, but we never actually tap into it. Another one is passion. There's a quote that says, nothing great has ever been accomplished without passion. And I think that quote is so true, man, because when you think about it, everything, those turning points in history was birthed out of somebody's passion or out of people's passion. Passion, it literally transforms you. What passion does is it literally shifts your focus from anything extrinsic like money or fame, and it channels it towards the intrinsic value of whatever it is that you're doing. That's how powerful it is. That's why people who are operating out of passion aren't doing it for the money. They're doing it for the intrinsic value of whatever it is that they're doing. Paul Allen and Bill Gates, those two guys, when they started Microsoft, they didn't think they were going to make any money off of it. It wasn't about money. They were doing it because they loved it. It was something that they loved to do. It was the passion that drove them. But it's so powerful, and it allows us to move mountains. It's when we're operating under passion that allows us to do that kind of stuff. Carlos can't do that. And I'm asking you guys, how many of you guys, or how many of us operate out of passion? How many of us have something that we're passionate about? A lot of us don't even know what we're passionate about, because that's not stuff we learn in school. But I'm asking you, what makes you come alive? Because greatness and greatness comes from people who are set on fire. People who are alive, people who actually come alive. What is it that burns within you? What is it that wakes you up in the morning and puts you to sleep at night? What is it that makes you feel like your life is worth living? Like you have a sense of purpose? What is that thing? What is your thing? A lot of what do you really think about before you go to bed? In most cases, it's, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Simple. And for most of us, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes in our mind is, I don't want to go to work right now. And that's what our life has become. Nothing, and we literally walk around like zombies. No life, no vital signs, nothing that shows sign of life. We're just living. We're just existing. We're just going to work, to come home, to hang out with friends every so often, and that's it. But we never tap into this potential that we have to do incredible things. One of the things that I've been doing with my team is we've created something called Dreams and Cocktails, and the whole idea behind Dreams and Cocktails is to bring people together to discuss and talk about, share ideas about what makes them come alive. So I can go to Dreams and Cocktails and I can talk to people, and I can be in an environment that's welcoming to the fact that what makes me come alive might be animals. And I can find someone and connect with somebody else who's also passionate about the same thing that I'm passionate about. And we have this energized conversation. Like I remember back in the day, not even back in the day, like maybe a couple years ago, me and my cousins used to play, I love Call of Duty. Me and my cousins used to play Call of Duty, and we used to talk about stocks, financial markets, business, investments, real estate, and all that stuff while we were playing Call of Duty. Till like hours in the day. In the morning, and I loved it. It was just guys and my sister getting together and just discussing business, and we loved it, and that's what we were passionate about. We would talk for hours and hours and hours while we played Call of Duty, and that's the same type of environment that we have at Dreams and Cocktails, whereby you come to Dreams and Cocktails with your passion and whatever it is that makes you come alive, and you listen to other people share their story, and you share your story. And if you're a business owner, it's a great opportunity for you as well, because not only do you have, it's almost like you have, it goes beyond the elevator pitch. So not only do you have an environment where you can pitch your business idea, or you can pitch your business or your product or your service, but you can also share your story. You can get me to buy in even further. Right, because now when I see the person behind the business, or when I see why you do what you do, that'll motivate me. And I move when I'm motivated. And that's why Dreams and Cocktails is networking redefined. It's not just about exchanging business cards or exchanging contact information. It's about influence. You know, and it's about moving people. It's about sparking innovation, sparking ideas, igniting dreams. You know, and creating that energized conversation. You know, so I mean, one thing I want to leave with you guys is really just find out what it is you want to do. Find out what you love to do and come alive with it. Come alive. Allow it to let you come alive. It lets you feel like you have a sense of purpose. You know, I mean, there's so much things that we can do as people, but the most basic thing that we need to do is discover what it is what we're passionate about. So to answer your question, why do I do what I do? Is because I believe that there's so much wrapped up inside of us that I want to draw out of people.